YouTube stream. All right, here we go. Yeah, today I will be continuing this piece we started last week, and it just kind of started as a random series of. I'm going to show you this. I started with this sketch here, and from there I just started painting in some other stuff, and this is what we've ended up with. So I'm really kind of liking the lighting we have here, and there's a bit of interesting story elements going on here as well. And so I think I originally had it this way. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm just gonna dive right back into this and hopefully just get it to a finished or close to finished state here tonight for you guys. And so yeah, feel free to hop in and leave a comment or question or a suggestion about where you want this to go. You know, I'm always open to that kind of thing. I'm still not really totally sure where this is going in terms of story and overall elements, but I think I have the overall theme pretty plotted out, pretty well plotted out. I have these mysterious robed figures that are kind of entering this town, and some people that are sort of hanging out outside looking at them. So there's going to be a lot of details to work out here, but I think my goal at this point will be to figure out what the real essential ones are and focus on that. As you can see, I've already kind of started in on the main focal point here and done some details out there. So anyway, let me just pull up the comments here so I can make sure I'm seeing what's going on here. Hey, Jose, nice to see you. Welcome back. All right, got the comments listed up here. Ready to dive in. It's sometimes so I haven't really touched this since last week, and can be a bit daunting sometimes to just kind of jump right back into it. But I mean, I guess really the only way to do it is to start. So I'm actually gonna take a quick moment, grab some water, and then we'll get going here. Oh, hey guys, Nick Vieira, welcome. Good to see you here. Getting a regular crew going on these things. It's really great. It's good to see you. And yeah, welcome. I'm just kind of picking up where I left off last week with this piece. And I'm not even really sure where to start. My first impression is it needs a bit more drawing. So I might go in and do a bit more of that kind of stuff, a little more definition on some of these areas. So yeah, I'm just gonna dive right in. And I think as I progress here, it might be a bit easier to see what the more essential elements are of this piece. Actually, I think something that we really need to focus on right now is this defining this structure a bit back here, because it's sort of not necessarily a focal point in itself, but it's definitely involved with the other areas of this painting. It's, it's kind of a point of access for the top of the canvas, as well as, the literal entranceway for our characters here. Actually, it might be good at this point to make some selections, clarify some of our shapes. So yeah, I'm just going to go in and solidify some of these areas and then invert that selection. Maybe we can work on this sky a bit too. I'm seeing now this isn't totally symmetrical here, so let me just fix some of these proportional issues. Not really helping myself up here, am I? That looks pretty good. Get some lightly shadowed areas happening here. Don't want to go too high contrast, but just the suggestion of detail there. I feel like it's a term I use quite a bit in these streams. It's a good artistic term. Second peak. I think not. Probably just gonna have this one centered over the doorway here, and have it be more centralized. type of architecture here. Just gonna do some little cutouts here. It's just a nice, nice quick way to kind of give again the suggestion of detail here. I'm gonna go in with the little shadows under here. And I think it's probably best we just go in and clarify what's going on with this area here. Make sure it's all lining up. You know what? There's probably a better way to do this. I think I have to invert that and then create a circle here. Yeah, sometimes making these inverted selections can get a little complicated. I think I'm overcomplicating it here. So I'm just going to do a little manual circle here and hope that my hand remains steady. Close enough. Alright, let's go back here. Grab this reflected light color. Even push up the brightness of that a little bit. Go in here. Maybe push that a little more towards the blue. Something like that. Maybe that's a bit too bright. Actually, no, I think that's I think maybe it was okay. I guess that, yeah, there's a lot of reflected light coming in from the interior of this city here, so starting to get probably a bit too detailed here, so I'm gonna move on to some other areas of the painting real quick. Just gonna grab this here, copy paste it, just shift that perspective over a little bit. Oh, not that much. Maybe bump it over here. Actually, I think this whole setup here is off center. Yep. Totally missed that. I think that's a little better. Yeah, awesome. All right, let's move on. What's next? I think another really important area to develop is this foreground and this character here. So I'm going to focus on that a little bit. Just get her up to speed. Maybe do a little bit of drawing here, just to solidify some of the details. Maybe it kind of looks like she's leaning out a little bit, so it'd be nice if there was something she could hold on to here. Maybe there's some kind of railing, something like that. Little fence thing out here. I'm not being super careful with my perspective right now, but you know, a lot of that we can work out later on. This guy's hand is coming out. I don't know why. I think this is just gonna be a big old bald fat guy. I think that's where he's headed. Uh-oh, what happened to my pen? There it is. She's kind of looking out, trying to see what's going on here. It's sometimes nice to just sort of switch back and forth between drawing and painting. It's really something that's fairly easy to do with the digital medium. And I'm also just sort of paying attention to, just trying to establish some of my perspective grid here. Maybe we'll add a bit of a rooftop edge here. Bring out your dead. Yep. The stairs on the left, yes, absolutely. I think I kind of cut those out with the lasso tool just to get the color in there, but they definitely aren't vibing with the rest of the piece here right now. So I'll definitely return to those. So probably use a bit more red here. Bring out my texture paintbrush. It's kind of a cool red, if there is such a thing. I guess it's sort of a red violet, you know. But I'm not using the same bright red I would use over there with those hooded guys. I'm gonna bring back some of those nice Greg Rutkowski brushes for some of this. Try to establish some more solid footing over here. I think this perspective is a little bit outrageous. So I'm just gonna kind of bring it in a little bit. Maybe there's a window here of some kind. Then yeah, anywhere where it's like if we had a windowsill here or something, anywhere where it's turned up to the sky, we're gonna have a bit more of that blueness. And then same here. I guess this is some kind of railing out here. Not sure what its purpose is, but we'll find out. Its purpose is for her to hold it, as is the purpose of all railings. They're meant to be held on to. I guess this whole thing's kind of a deck of some kind, you know? So let's just select this whole thing, simplify it. I'm not too concerned about her dress right now. I'm just gonna establish this. Get some lines that are going with our texture here. Just some woody looking things. Maybe there's a better brush for this. Let's try this one. All right. It's woody looking. And then one more step down here. This is kind of fun, you know, it's just simple, straightforward, you know. Just making blocks, making 3D shapes. This is the easy part. Hard part is making it work within the whole composition here, but we will cross that bridge when it comes. Maybe if there's some kind of varnish or anything on these or moisture on these steps, they might have a bit of a reflective element here. That'll help us clarify these shapes a bit more. I think this whole just trying to make a decision about what to do with this. I guess this is kind of a porch, situation. So maybe the steps will be somewhere else. Maybe we'll just do this for now. So I've realized I've made it a bit high, but maybe we can just stick a few little ones over here. Yeah, all of a sudden I become an architect, right? Exterior designer, which is definitely something you gotta do every now and then. Just copy paste. Something like that. I don't know. I'm just gonna take all of this and darken it up quite a bit too. At least towards the back here. Don't want it to lead the eye off the edge of the page. It'll help to sell the reflectiveness of the bridge a bit more, or the porch a bit more anyway. And then you can do another little railing here too. Why not? Something for her to lean against. Little embellishments on the end here. Something like that. Now she looks very oddly placed right now because I cut off part of her dress, so let's go back in here. And give that back to her. I'm thinking, I don't know, what do we think of her color? Maybe we'll do a little violet here. Why the heck not? Kind of, maybe that'll help to mirror out the focal point a bit. Help to balance it out. So she's just gonna be purple. Maybe some darker hues in here. Maybe a little bit more towards the blue, towards the top. But mostly purple. This is going to look a bit convex, just because we're kind of looking up from the bottom a bit. And she's going to need a shadow. Let's just take this. And soft round. Just fade that in. It's not quite the color I want though. That's a bit better. I'm actually gonna close this blind so I don't have quite as much glare going on here. That's a little better. I could flip it, work on it a bit this way. Looks like her, yeah, looks like her figure has been distorted a bit since the sketch phase. I think what I can do is just this. Actually, I haven't merged these down in a minute, so just gonna merge those, copy paste, move this over. Something like that. Yeah, and by the way, I'm still just working on one layer here, as I usually prefer to do. I don't know if that's gonna come back to bite me later, but time will tell. Sometimes it does, you know. But there are always ways to work around it. Okay, now let's get back to see what this guy's doing. He's just gonna be a silhouette for a while. Actually might make another layer for this guy just because he's got this arm that's reaching out. I don't know. Maybe I think he's just trying to stop her or something. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. It's not all clear to me. Let's go back to these stairs here because they're kind of catching my attention right now. They just need a little sculpting. Hey there, Shalandra. Nice to see you. Yes, I actually realized I forgot to to create a Facebook event for this one, but looks like everyone found out about it anyway. I'm just realizing there's probably gonna be a bit of a cast shadow here on this person, and same thing on the ground. Glad to hear it's on your calendar, Jose. Yeah, it's a nice this is a nice little ritual. I mean, it gives me an excuse to do some personal artwork every week, and a chance to share it with you guys as well. Right, and we were gonna do some kind of window here. Can't remember. Seems appropriate. Or maybe it was up here. Or maybe it was both. Probably doesn't matter too much. There's my simplified window there. It's hard to pin down exactly what's going to happen in the reflection, but something's telling me it's going to pick up just a little bit of that, the reflection of the roof there as well. feeling like this is a bit too obviously warm here. I want to have some cooler tones mixed in there as well, just to make it interesting. All right, Nick. I'll see you back later. Thinking I'm just kind of seeing this. I want to test it out. There might be some warm reflections in here. Not totally sure about that, but we'll see. And maybe a little bit of a kind of fence or something here. Probably be a bit darker overall. All right. Let's try creating a bit more shadowiness in here. Oh, the Aaron Blaze light course. I've been really enjoying it. It's been great practice. I haven't I think I'm probably about halfway through. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, it's great stuff. Very I mean a lot of the first part of it is kind of, you know, he's really spent some decent time on the basics. Which is helpful for anybody, myself included, because sometimes you forget about that stuff. And you know, I'll often finish up a one of the I don't want to call them assignments, but one of the lessons, and I'll like paint along with him, and I'll get to the end and I'll be like, this doesn't look like what he made. Like, this is way better. And then I'm like, yeah, of course this is way better. Like, he's a really good artist. He worked at Disney. Like, of course his practice work is gonna look better than yours. So it's definitely something to bear in mind, but it's I'm sure you can relate to that with any course you're taking. But yeah, definitely worth the investment, I think. Let's actually want to take a minute, see what this looks like in grayscale. That can be kind of helpful as a guiding force here. Just kind of look back a bit, see if everything is sort of making sense here, which it isn't totally, but I think the major elements are in place. So we can keep checking that as I move forward. I'm gonna have to grab this sandpaper again, file down this nib. This gets a little scratchy sometimes. Just thinking about having some little yellow spots in here just to make it a little bit more idyllic, I suppose. I think the vibe I'm going for here is sort of like, this is a peaceful little town, and these sort of caped dudes come they come in and shake things up, This is like the beginning of the tale, when everything seems right, and then suddenly it all goes wrong. Or it could be more of a developmental scene, where well, I don't know. Can't really think about that and talk at the same time, or paint and talk about that at the same time, but just kind of shooting out ideas here. I feel like all these houses have these windows on either side of the door for some reason or another. Trying to keep the overall theme consistent with the architecture and everything, Just remembered I had this idea that I developed over here on the right, with kind of this log, it's like thatched log roof structure kind of thing, so just kind of want to build on that a little bit. Maybe I don't want it right here, though. That's kind of distracting in terms of the overall composition, And there are going to be some people hanging out. They've got, they're going to all have to have some different clothing and whatnot, someone standing with a kid or something. Some people hanging out down on the street here. Actually just gonna take a quick break here, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go. We're back. Pop a little light on here. And let's keep going. Not really sure what's happening with this. It's kind of like half a house over here. I should probably just simplify that whole area, really. Let's try something here. That's wild. I kind of think that's better, though. Let's kind of line it up with the perspective here. Boom. I would call that an improvement. And we can move that window over here. Maybe we'll even have someone peeking out. Something like that. Don't get too crazy with it, though. It's not a very important part of this whole piece. I do remember I was thinking about putting some kind of little garden over here, but I think for now I'm just gonna focus on some more important elements. I have some more of these people hanging out on the sidelines here. Maybe a couple of them up here. Next to some of these little huts. I'm using the smudge tool here, by the way. I'm just moving the digital paint around. That's pretty much it. Trying to find a nice configuration for these clouds. I'm trying to raise up some of these. Oh, I messed this one up a little bit. Just gonna fix that up a bit. I'll just raise up some little doodads here. Maybe these are soldiers or something. Not this one though. It's got to go back down. And I'm also thinking about potentially losing some edges here and there to create some nice dynamics, some contrast between the textured areas and those that are not. Help to establish more of a general focal area. Alright, and I think it's time to return to our protagonist here. Maybe even give her stuff out. A little bit of smoothing here. Thinking about where the folds in this fabric are going to appear, all that kind of stuff. A bit of drapery here. It's mostly just putting down local colors here first before I get into any great detail with the shading and all that. I really kind of went wild with the smudge tool over there. Really messed up that roof. It's okay. Since this is or supposed to be a quicker painting, I'm gonna let a lot of those lost details remain lost. If I really wanted to put a whole bunch of time into this, I could, go into all those areas and render them out. But I think for a live stream painting, I'm just gonna try to keep it simple. Time to incorporate some shadows here. I may just get rid of this guy over here, actually. He just kind of overcomplicates things a bit. Were I more skilled visual composer, I might have included that in a more tactful way, but I think it was just a bit too much. So I want the focus to be right on her. I think that simplifies things a bit. I don't know why I'm getting some serious lag with this this program right now. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe we could have some light coming in here. That might be let's give it a whirl. Might be nice. So it might give us a nice bit of room lighting here. Doesn't have to be too specific. Be something real simple. I could give her a bit of Bit of interesting light here. Maybe. Something like that. That's kind of interesting. I always like getting a warm and a cool light source paired up like this. Not sure how well it's working overall, but I'm just gonna explore it a little bit. Can always change it later. This can all just be sort of glowing a bit like that. Maybe. Have some darker shapes in there. Maybe another cast shadow. Some people. I think that's a bit distracting in terms of color, so maybe I'll just go in and let's just select this. And bring down the saturation. Try that again. I think that works a little better. We have some people hanging out in here. Bit of reflected light going on in here. Wait for my computer to catch up on this one. Actually, should really check that the graphics card fan has been acting up, so that might have something to do with this. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I don't know. Not totally sure if all this over here is going to work out. It's just a bit too much going on towards the edge, but I want to tone it down a bit. Keep those shadows in here. Well, I think I've got it to something close to a finished state. If I were to be maybe a little detail here would help out. Yeah, if I were to be doing this for any other purpose besides my own and your amusement, I might spend a bit more time working out all the various details and things like that. And I might do that a little bit on my own time here, or maybe if I'm feeling it, I'll do another stream this week. But I think in terms of next week, we'll move on to something else. See if we can do something a little less ambitious. Somehow I end up always biting off a bit more than I can chew with these things. But I think this looks pretty good. I mean, the overall concept and mood is there, yeah, I think it's a maybe I'll keep that the way it is. Yeah, I think it's an interesting starting point. I think there are definitely a lot of rough patches here, but I kind of like how ended up having a bit of a counterpoint to the robed figures on the side here with this this woman in the reddish dress here, and I'm really a fan of this whole area here. Just like how that architecture turned out. I liked how these guys turned out. I really, I think this lighting is really just working well. I think it has just the right level of detail to give an impression of what's going on. I was having a little trouble bringing that level of accuracy and efficiency to this area here, but I think it'll do for now. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. So thank you guys for tuning in this week, and yeah, like I said, I might pick this one up on sort of a different day, but I think next week I'm gonna just dive into something new. So if you have any ideas of what you'd like to see, or what you want to see happen in these live streams, this is for you guys, and I mean it's for me too. I really enjoy this, and I love the excuse to be doing this. But yeah, let me know. Drop a comment. Shoot me an email, or whatever works for you. Let me know what you want to see in this in these events, and I'll see if I can work it in. All right, guys. Hope you have a good night. Bye.